Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hello. We're back on ACC for some more racing. Welcome Zav, welcome Geeky. The early chatters for stream today. But welcome all. Yes, we're here for a 2-hour race. Multi-class. Qualifying is just about to start, but it is segmented. So we have about 10 minutes before our quality session begins. As far as I'm aware, but on the off chance it does start in like a minute. I am ready? Question mark? Yes. Yes. Welcome along. Today we have 2 hours of Donnington. There is one mandatory pit stop for this race, as well you cannot go 2 hours then on a tank of fuel, nor, well, you can on a set of tires, but it's not ideal. Yes, I do have a drink, Geeky. And yes, it is better early than late. I do have a drink. Yeah, we'll have a 30-second pit stop for drinking. No, I believe it is GT3s first. So yeah, we see a lot of GT3s going out. They'll get 10 minutes. So we have a 20-minute session. First 10 minutes, it'll be all GT3s. Then they'll finish their laps as we head out for our 10 minutes in the second half of the session. Take 1 psi out for the temperatures. We were using about 2.05 litres a lap. This is actually one of the few cars where I've had a higher fuel usage than the estimated. Say we're gonna get 7 laps and we're going to need 15 litres. So we'll just get that fuel ready. We should have a total, there should be 12. Yes, I am in a GT4. We should have 12 total GT4s. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, there we go. All the GT4s have turned up, and we should have 31 GT3s. So we're missing a couple of GT3s. But yeah, that is a total of 43 cars, which is plenty around here at Donnington. So far in the practice session, the GT3s were fairly respectful. Obviously, only had a handful of GT3s pass me, so it's not, you know, it only really takes one bad apple to spoil the party, but so far it seems quite all right. Hopefully it stays that way. Now, one of the things to note with GT4s is the class is not very balanced when it comes to bop between the cars. How do I choose number? It depends. So we'll start with Asao Corsa, the original. There's no racing numbers, so we don't worry about that. For Asao Corsa Competizione, if I'm signing up on a site called SimGrid, which I did for Sunday's 90-minute Porsche Cup race and tonight's 2-hour race, SimGrid just lets you choose a number that no one else has chosen. So I've go for my usual number 34. If it is on a different site called SimRacing GP, which is what I used on Monday and Tuesday. So Tuesday, they lock the ability to choose your number behind a paywall. So unfortunately, you know, can't choose number. I think I want to say the number is based on the ranking SGP has, but the ranking system is honestly very crap on SGP. If you miss a race, you lose a tenth, over a tenth, 10% of your ranking. So, you know, if you miss the odd race, your attendance has a bigger effect on your ranking than your actual pace, which is just makes it really inaccurate. Hello, Artie. Wasn't that long ago that we were just chatting. And having more skill issues, I see, with trying to wave in chat. They just never end. Skill issues never end with you, Artie, do they? SMH. But good to see you around. I've just got just under 6 minutes before our part of qualifying begins. We've got about half of the GT3s, just over half, have set a lap time so far. Yeah, as I was saying with racing numbers, SGP has a number of features locked behind paywalls. Racing numbers is part of that, unless it's a team event. Team events you get to choose, but solo events you're not allowed. Welcome, Caroline. Good to see you. Welcome along. Yeah, geeky, casual like you. I mean, it's just a visual thing, and it's something that you can generally change from event to event. So yeah, it really doesn't mean much. It really doesn't. Yeah, just whatever your preferential is. One thing I'm going to point out at this part of the stream is I realised watching back the Ferrari Challenge race from Tuesday that over there, with the extra little details, the position indicator, that red, sort of orange P1, that is the class, that is in class position, not overall position, which is pretty neat. It's not something I usually have on screen for me, so it's actually quite nice to have that there. The rest of the details for those that are near here, or it's been a while at least, so you know, maybe everyone could do a little refresh. We've got gear in the center of this little circle, inputs, brake on the bottom, throttle on top that goes all the way around. Then we've got temperatures between track, ambient, and then we've got personal best lap time just to the right of them. Obviously speed and RPM, as you can see, denoted, and the shift lights. I don't know how accurately they come across, but yeah. That's a little explanation for that little graphic, additional graphic we have. Of course, I should talk about the car we're driving. GT4, we're using the Aston Martin Vantage GT4. So on the dash you'll see we have in the top right, we have a reference lap, which will be personal best lap usually. Last lap or current lap that's ticking. Predicted lap, which is sort of the prediction of what your current lap will be. And then on the left hand side we've got speed in kilometers an hour, water temp, which means nothing, and fuel used in liters. Obviously gear in the middle. I'm glad you like the layout, Geeky. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's... I wish when it came to other sims, like the original Seto Corsa, if I ever did Forza, WRC, I wish I could get some data to fill that space over there as well, because, you know, it's nice having the face cam, the chat on screen without it blocking components of the game screen. That is one nice thing about setup, but then having the blank space can sometimes be a bit annoying. But it's nice to have something to fill up for ACC, at least. And one thing to note is this is one of the cars where we can see the rear view screen in the bottom right hand corner, just above chat. Not all cars have a visible screen when in terms of in your field of view. Sometimes it is there, but it's just off screen, outside your field of view. But it is here, which will help when the GT3s are lapping us. Most of the GT3s have set a lap time, and there's only 2 more. There's 26, which is just time, and 747. Ignore the 331 not being in pit lane. As you can see, it's causing a yellow flag in the pit lane because they might have went on track and had to be DQ'd for not following rules. We have just over a minute till your qualifying session begins, and we'll have 10 minutes. Of course, a key part of GT4s is we have no tyre blankets. We will start on stone cold tyres, which will need a couple of laps to get to temperature. Yes, Geeky, I'm using OBS. And hello to you too, Zav. I haven't seen any specific rules on whether you're allowed to queue or not in the pit lane. I'm going to take it you can, given that that person is just queuing up. That is well timed. Yeah, I take it we can queue up, which... in which case, I shall go queue. So GT3s are about to come to the end of their session. Those have started a lap within the 10 minutes, which has just ended, will be allowed to continue. And finish their laps. Oh, no worries, Sav. Hope you enjoy your food. So I was talking a little bit about the bob isn't great in GT4. The Alpines, of which we have 2 in front of us, are a bit overpowered. I was working in a series that had a GT4 class over the last couple of months, and every car but 2 was Alpines. It was pretty much an Alpine Cup. And even though it was open choice car within the class. So yeah, it tells you how good the bob is for GT4. Going for the sweaty esport line up ahead. Compromise the final corner to try and get a better exit, carry more speed down start finish straight to start your lap. Doesn't really mean anything for this lap because your tyres will not be up to temperature. As you can see, mine, we're still over a PSI down on the optimal pressures. Still quite blue. So this is effectively a second build lap. I'm also going to change the secondary display in the race logic on the far right to show our actual delta as a relative, rather than having to base it off the predicted lap. Just gives a clear indication at a quick glance of whether we're positive or negative, improving or not. So as we've sort of finished our banker lap to start our first proper flying lap now. Alpine in front has made a mistake and hit the wall. Having to reset like that is going to be costly because, you know, that's another 2 laps they're going to lose. Warming the tyres up again. So they've effectively wasted about 4 or 5 laps with that mistake. As they're nice and neatly through the chicane. Gaining a bit of time through their hairpin. Losing a bit from hanging with them there for a moment. But we're a couple of tenths up. So currently seeing P3 in the class, but that will change. We've got a good gap both in front and behind us. But that can still quickly change. So we find a couple of tenths. A little deep into the chicane. It's cost us a little bit of time. Making sure not to hit the limiter that time. So gaining a tenth. As you can see, the third and final Alpine has popped itself up into third. And there goes another one for a spin. I'll tell you why they're having spins. I'm assuming these are more serious people who maybe a little bit sweaty. And in that sweat, they've chosen the strongest car in the class and are running it without TC, as that is the quickest way to run the Alpine at least. There might be another few cars in the class that are the same. But it's definitely closed up a little bit in the standings for qualifying here. As we have just over 2 minutes left. That will last another 2 laps. I know there's about 10th in the chicane if we get it right, but maybe a 10th there in T1. though we've already lost that 10th and another half through the old hairpin. A little wide there as the Mercedes has displaced us to 5th. Pushing through the chicane, you can see on the delta the time that we gained from that. We have to put a full lap together to make use of it. As we're going on to start our final lap. Finding that 10th again in T1. A little bit wide and deep through the old hairpin. Sure enough, that time bleeds away again. Yeah, a little wide there too. This lap isn't going to amount to anything. But we'll just finish it off anyway. In fact, I'm going to use it for a practice pit entry. I went for one in practice and someone had managed to block the pit entry, which was very convenient. 999 is also on a lap, so there they go. I don't know if it'll make it to our box to practice our position, even though it doesn't really matter, can't see anything through the cars. Yeah, there we go. It will be P5 in class at the end of that. So yes, let's get our race fuel back in the car, which is 80 litres. Then we'll be putting 77 in the tank. I'm going to take out one more. I'm actually going to take out 2 from these because it's got a little hotter. And then let's make sure to raise our tire strats. And I think we're going to want one more out of all of these because it's about noon in game. So it's going to get a bit warmer through the race as we had to 1 PM. So yeah, we want to make sure we account for that in the tire pressures. Yes, I'd agree. I would say too that my pace is in race pace, just a consistency, which we were, you know, for that quali stint, we were pretty consistent, which isn't always, which obviously isn't the best when you're trying to get the most out of the car. But yeah, very few mistakes. Yeah, it should hopefully be helpful in this 2-hour race. And yeah, I'd say we judged, given the amount of cars, we judged the pit box quite well. So thanks for the appreciation, Geeky. So yes, anything else need changing? Nope. One thing's gonna say, yes, there is one at a pit stop. There is no restrictions on stops. You just have to make the stop. If you have 2 drivers, which you are allowed, obviously it's just me here, but some people will be running 2 drivers, as you can see here. None of the people we're racing against have 2 drivers, so that's something good to know. If you're running 2 drivers, you'll have to switch between the in the pit stop. which means in second half your race, you know, you're going to have a bit different pace, you know, different driver, of course. Different pace, different slightly characteristics, you know, could see a little shuffling of the standings. Could make it a little more interesting. Hopefully no one gets, hopefully one of those changes isn't someone becomes dive bomby. Yeah, hopefully people are nice and clean is the main thing we're hoping for. As the formation lap is just getting underway. We'll start our car.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
And head off for what is a very important formation lap. As we need to bring these tires up to some sort of temperature from the coldness that they start with. So we'll do this by just dragging the brake, as you can see in the little data over there. We're just holding the brake. That's warming the brakes up. That heat will transfer into the tires. We'll also do a little bit of weaving there on in the lap when brakes start overheating, as we can hear them now. And that'll help just build a little more surface temp. Yeah, it is. It has been for, I want to say, ever since ICC came out. I mean, you'll get the brakes up to 500, 600, 700, maybe even 800 degrees, depending on the exact car. Degrees C, so of course that heat would transfer into the tire rim, and thus into the tire itself. The one thing about weaving is weaving can hurt the tires because you're putting those forces through the tire. Yeah, and to accelerate and brake. I mean, the only thing with accelerating and braking is you're, of course, moving around forward and backwards, so it's a bit distracting for those people around you. Thankfully managed to avoid that.
Yellow flag, be careful there. Clear on the left.
That has been a very messy start.
There's a slow car.
But yeah, just holding the brakes is probably the easiest way to hold up. That is a GT3 behind us. It's been a very messy start so far. We took quite extreme avoiding action onto the grass. That's just worried about getting hit in the rear end as we were slowing down for the cars in front. It unfortunately has cost us a few positions and has meant we are now ahead of a number of GT3s, which will have to pass us in these early laps.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
We don't quite have a run on this Mercedes.
There's a slow car ahead.
You didn't want to give up the inside line for the final hairpin. Alpine sending it from very far back.
Clear on the right.
Oh, that's a Lambo GT3 I didn't even see. KTM's had a poor run from the GT3 passing it. The Merc has had to check up. Merc's gone for the move on the inside. They'll try and follow through here.
Car on the left.
KTM's go hold it round the outside. So it's all about the acceleration and top speed as we head down to the chicane.
Clear on the left.
We're in front, so we'll take the position. KTM thankfully lets us have the corner on challenge. And now we'll see if we can pass this mark. There's a, I was going to say there was a Ferrari GT3 coming up behind us, but they've gone to pit lane. Taking too much curb there just because I can see the apex behind the mark, but we're putting a lot of pressure on the mark. Mark dipping a wheel on the grass. But gets a good run through the chicane.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Car having an accident at this hairpin.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
You can see car spun there on the straight. It's a Lambo GT3. It might have been that one that dive bombed us. Just a few laps to go. A few laps ago. So yes, as Geeky says, we're currently seeing P4 in classes. There's another crash behind us at T1.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
And that's occurring to the wall. It's a different Lambo GT3. P4 where we started in class. We've got ahead of one of the Alpines, but we've had this Mercedes sneak by in the opening lap carnage. But we are putting on the pressure. Look at the defense.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
We're able to brake later, but they're positioning their car well for now. They've gone in very deep though into the final
Clear on the
corner,
right.
which will give us the position for free pretty much.
Well done, mate.
Now we can hopefully show our pace and open up the gap a bit. Looks like the two in front are costing themselves time as they battle. The Aston Martin ahead for the Alpine. as that puts us P3 in class. So only one of the 3 Alpines are now in front of us. But our other Aston has found its way to the class lead, as traffic has settled down for now. The Alpine's looking for a move to the inside, isn't able to get alongside, but looks like it's got a good run through the chicane. It's on the inside as they head down to the first of the 2 hairpins. Aston looks for a cut back, isn't able to get it, had to brake just momentarily to not hit the back of the Alpine. Just see the brake lights flash on for a moment, and the Alpine has taken the lead. They can see we're closing in on these 2 while they were fighting. A few tenths quicker that last lap. Aston make a mistake running wide, they're out of T1. Again, Aston running wide, we were running a little bit wide too. Just try and carry as much speed as we can through Old Hairpin. But that gap is shrinking. The Merc, while it's not on our bumper, hasn't dropped back completely. Head through the chicane, just 0.2 of a second behind now. I think we're going to find ourselves in a difficult position here, trying to attack while having to defend from the car behind. We've got to be careful with whatever moves we go for, as we don't leave ourselves too vulnerable to the Mercedes. So just followed each other slightly wide through Old Hairpin once again. Probably be a common theme throughout this race. GT3s are catching up onto the back of this GT4 train to start lapping us. They've got a few cars to get through before they reach us in particular. As we sure knows, the Aston runs a little bit deep, but we can't carry the momentum on the tighter line. Aston's made a little mistake there on the exit. They're going to keep us to the inside. They're going to go for a cut back here. We're going to park it on the apex. They give us a little nudge in the rear. That was, I really thought they were just going to ding it into our rear door, so I give them a lot of room, too much room, but better safe than sorry. Slide the Merc back through. Now the Mercs held up. We've got to the inside.
Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
And that's goalless. Back past the mark.
Faster car approaching. Roger.
And then here come GT3s. Gotta be careful with GT3s, as they can offer up opportunities, but if we're not careful, can also cause crashes, as it looks like there has been one behind us. Meanwhile, that Alpine now a 5-second lead up ahead.
Faster car behind you.
Mark behind is dropped well back. Must have a contact with the GT3, but taking the pressure off us.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Aston was a little deep into the chicane. We've got a much better run. They're going defensive, so we'll go to the outside.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
We'll break later, try and get the cut back.
Faster cars approaching.
Once again, positioning their car quite well.
Car heading sector 1.
Got another GT3 starting to approach us.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Astons are defending the inside from the GT4. Well, less of a defense and more of a please don't dive bomb me here, please wait at corner. Taking a little too much apex curb there. But we're going to keep the pressure on this Aston. Still plenty of GT3s to come. Still plenty of potential opportunities. For both a pass for second, but also for misjudgments. Another yellow flag behind us.
Faster cars approaching.
One of the braking boards there has been taken out into the old hairpin. GT3 got to come
Car on the
down left hand side.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Faster car behind you.
And here come the train of GT3s. There's one, there's two.
Clear on the right. Car on the left. Faster car coming up behind you. Clear on the left.
There's one of the GT3s getting taken out into left-hand side wall. The fry behind us
Faster cars approaching.
getting me very nervous, to be honest.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
They're going 3 wide around the Aston ahead.
Faster car coming up behind you. Falling behind to the car in front is up to
Getting a bit dicey here with old GT3s.
faster car coming up behind you.
They're not done yet. But we have much better run through Old Hairpin.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Tried to get to the inside but took too much curb.
Faster car coming up behind you.
Once again, just trying to get a better exit, but too much curb on the inside.
Yellow flag is set to
Go to the inside here, no matter how far.
clear on the left. The faster car is approaching.
The Aston pushes us. Kind of have to back out as we're 3 wide, and ultimately just too tight.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Situation just being too risky
Car approaching. Watch out.
to keep our nose down the inside of.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That's a bit close for comfort.
Faster car approaching. Watch out.
Of course, now these GT3s, not as quick as the leaders, not as experienced most likely.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car coming up behind you. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
And that's more potential for things to go wrong.
Faster car approaching. Watch out.
Fry going for quite an audacious move there, causing the Aston to back up quite a lot.
Car
Here
on the
comes
right.
another Ferrari.
Clear on the right.
I'm glad I spotted. A little bit of lag there. That 997 is definitely one to look out for, being
Gaining on the driver ahead.
very aggressive, overshooting their braking zones. A little bit just in an attempt to pass us.
Car on the left. Faster car is approaching. Watch out. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear wide.
Whew!
Clear on the right.
I was going to say that Lambo went for quite a silly move,
Faster car
and
is
I've ended up clashing with the Aston in front of us.
clear on the right.
We've managed to get out unscathed.
Car on the left.
That McLaren goes wide in trying to pass us. loses position to the Aston behind. Let's go overtake us here.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the
I
left.
don't know how we've managed to break an Aston GT3 into the chicane driving a GT4.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
And with that, the Aston that was half spun has caught right back up. Now we seem to have more pace than them, so hopefully we should be able to get away, but we're still not done with that GT3 traffic.
Yellow flag accepted.
We have a couple of crashes. We have one at T1 just behind us again, one far end of the circuit. I'm glad they did not go for that move.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car approaching. Watch out.
And with that, we are now 24 minutes into the race.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I was hoping we were going to get a little break from GT3s, but it doesn't look like we will. GT3s have already very spread out. So this will be it for the rest of the race. It will be carnage.
Watch out. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, I did nearly run into the back of that Lambo. It is something you have to be a little bit careful of. Even though GT3s have got extra grip, braking performance,
Faster
when
car
they
approaching.
send it,
Watch out.
go for a dive, send it a little bit deep, they really slow it up on the apex, and you can easily run it into the back of them if you're not careful.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Aston did not leave much room for error there.
Faster car coming up behind you. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Especially when you get to the lower end of the GT3 field that's not as experienced, isn't able to handle the traffic as well. Obviously not as quick as the top GT3 drivers. There's our first warning for the 2 hours. Aston behind seems to have had another issue. They've dropped to 4 seconds back.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
You can see that Porsche's a bit battered on the rear end.
Warning for exceeding check
As
limits.
a second warning, which I find quite harsh. So we're going to need to ease it up, take it a little more cautiously on the track limits. I did see an Alpine behind the 999, the 999 Aston. But I'm going to assume they had an issue and have fallen further back.
Faster cars approaching. Watch out.
Yes, as Kiki says, we're allowed 3 warnings. And then on the 4th warning, we get a drive-through penalty, something we really want to avoid, as it costs a lot of time, of course.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Quick look, our left-hand side tire pressures are a bit low. Right hand side is looking fine. That might be because we've been held up in battles and haven't been able to get them up to the proper temperature. Haven't been able to get as hot as we were in clean air during practice and quali. But it could also be from pressure loss on the curbs. We have been exploring the grass quite a bit. So it could very easily be pressure loss. Does leave us a conundrum for do we make any adjustments? At the pit stop we'll be making halfway through the race. As we've a Janetta off there, but it has been lapped. As you can see, we're currently sitting P2 in class behind the Alpine that managed to break away after passing the Aston earlier in the race.
Faster car behind you. Clear on the right.
We are about 12 seconds behind that Alpine. Porsche being generously patient there, as expecting a dive bomb into T1.
Faster car coming up behind. Watch out.
As we have some more of the leading pack coming up, 4th and 5th.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car coming up behind you.
Up ahead we've got Porsche GT4 there, but that is obviously a lapped car.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
As they generously let us go. Did cost us a little bit of time. 3/10. Uh, 3/10 of a second.
The faster car is approaching. Car on the left. There's a slow car behind. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Very decisive dive bomb from the Lambo, helping to make it easy to spot and easy to work with.
Faster car behind you.
Lambo having a moment on the exit curb.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
As we've pulled out an 11-second lead to the Aston behind. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Geeky, I didn't even think we had any damage. We obviously had a wee minor knock on a car, but 3/10 is effectively nothing.
Car had us into one.
But yeah, considering the carnage around us, it could have been a lot more. So definitely something to be happy about, even if we'd still prefer absolutely 0 seconds.
Slow car behind.
This Porsche seems to be having some issues.
Car on the right. Faster car coming up behind you. Clear on the right.
Ferrari being a little timid there.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Yes, there have been a few moments that have been a bit close for comfort, which isn't a surprise given the multi-class nature at Donnington. It's not the most open track. It does have some inviting but very difficult corners to make overtakes at, such as the old hairpin. As we have our first penalty for track limits to the 331.
Losing pressure on the left rear.
Yeah, I can see the pressure loss. The tires are now nearly into low 25s.
Faster car approaching. Watch out. Yellow flags in. Watch out in front.
Yeah, there's a little space, a lot of runoff. Also, corners like the old hairpin,
Clear on the right.
you know, you start turning left to open up the corner, and then it's like, oh, there's a lot of space on the inside here. And you think, oh yeah, that's a good opportunity for a move. But in reality it isn't. We've got a bit of a fight between GT3s here.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I'm not surprised at the
Car on the right. 3 wide. All clear.
dive bomb.
Faster car behind you.
4.5 tenths now, Kiki. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that dive bomb. Very ambitious. Obviously couldn't even make the corner themselves, which obviously we should classify it as an excessive dive bomb. The Aston's going to go for the
Car
inside
on the
here.
left. Clear on the left.
Aston's gone for that move when it's been a bit close before, so I had to assume they were going to go for it that time. Just leave them space, play it safe rather than sorry. But yeah, as the leader's coming up to lap us once more now.
Car on the right.
And
Clear on the right.
yeah, that hairpin, Ferrari just, or I think it's a yellow McLaren, actually just in that fight, in the heat of that moment, just thinking, you know, don't lose any extra time behind the GT4, get it past them. Right, let's go for the dive. They're not really close enough. Send it off track. Nearly caused an accident as they rejoin, and we're 3 wide. I was sort of backing out a little bit. Maybe should have backed out a bit more than I did. As I did kind of see it coming. I was just hoping that GT3 on the inside left us the room. And thankfully they left us just enough room. Well, we had a little tap, but that could have been a lot worse if they didn't leave as much room as they did. Of course, it would be nice if they left a little bit more, but we can't have everything.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
So yes, 4.5 seconds as we have 17 minutes. left of the first R in the race. Bit wide from the Ferrari there. They're gonna send it because why not?
Yellow flag ahead. Clear on the right. There's a slow car ahead.
Car ahead has had issues. 983. Now penalty for track limits. It is easily done around here with that chicane. Now while we have the moment, I'd like to put one click of pressure. Well, as if you remember back to the start, we took one click pressure out on all tyres. That's an early stop for that Ferrari. I don't think they've realised that there is a 65-minute stint timer, which means they will have to make another trip through pit lane
Yellow flag is
before the end of this race, as there is 76 minutes left in the race. They're 11 minutes too early.
car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car approaching. Watch out.
But as I said with tyres, track temp now up to 27 C, so that's an increase of 2 since the start of the race. It started with 25, of course. So we
Car on
dropped
the left. Clear on the left. Faster car
0.1
coming behind.
click, or
Car on the
0.1
right.
psi on all tyres, but with the pressure loss we'll put that 0.1 psi back into the left hand side tyres, as it seems like we'll need it. 331 has quit from the race, which is a shame to see.
Falling behind the car in front on 73. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front. Slow car ahead.
Couple of slow cars here.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Bit of a dodgy rejoin from the Lamborghini there. Just play it safe, make sure we don't get caught up in something unnecessary.
Faster car coming up behind you.
As we have the penultimate placed GT3 coming to pass us now.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Yeah, they were the first car to get a track limits penalty.
Car on the right. Faster car approaching. Watch out. Clear on the right.
I say penultimate place GT3. Are there really issues at penultimate place GT3 on the lead lap?
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car approaching. Watch out.
Now we've fallen 20 seconds behind the leader of GT4, the Alpine, as I mentioned. Probably a bit of a sweat going for the OP car in the class. so I'm definitely not expecting I'm expecting that gap to continue to rise, but now 17.5 seconds ahead of the Aston behind us.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Labo makes a clean move on us.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Anything can happen next half an hour, anything can happen next 70 minutes. One thing we do know that will happen is a round of pit stops. There's of course always the potential for stop go penalties for speeding in the pit lane. We're track limits, absolutely right, Geeky. I also want to take this moment to apologise if there's any dropped frames. Generally, internet's pretty good. I know I have very few, but I'm seeing a few thousand here on my second monitor, so apologies if that is affecting the viewing experience at all. It is only 1% of frames, but we're all perfectionists here. We don't like any drop in quality.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Fast cars approaching.
That's not the first time a GT3's gone around the outside of me at the old hairpin there. It is scary, but boy. Some people say it just can't work. That is proof that it can work. Well done to that McLaren for making that work.
Clear on the right.
Had me very worried there. You know, I just slide the car a little bit too much through the corner and that's it. I take us both out. They turn in a little bit too tight, don't leave enough room. That's us both taken out. It is an incredibly brave, and a lot of people would say an incredibly stupid move to make, but you can make it work. You have to be brave, you have to be bold, you have to have a lot of trust in the car you're passing or being passed by.
There's a car linked with the pit, watch out.
And you have to be fair with them, leave them the room they need, and it will work out. Oh boy. It was a 12-hour endurance race. Same classes, GT3, GT4 round here. I did, and the organisers had set the old hairpin there as a danger zone. By that they meant anyone trying a risky overtake, especially GT3s on GT4s like that, and it caused an instant, they would get a more severe, a harsher penalty than normal, because it is a risky position to make moves. And that was for them to try and to try and discourage moves like that. Try to establish a bit more patience in GT3s. And I still had like 5 people overtake me at the corner, but it was either really committed moves down the inside that, yep, you know, they left me the room I needed. They made it clear what they wanted to do, passing me so I could leave them the room that they needed, and it all worked out really well. And that is just another example of one of those moves. No geeky, there is no safety car. Just flat out racing here. But speaking of the pit lane, going or what?
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Of course, doesn't know what they want to do. I've lost a lot of time just sitting there.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
And then they go for that half-hearted move. That is a lesson on how not to overtake a GT4. You need to be committed to your move. No, none of these half moves, none of these are just having a little look and backing out of them. You need to actually go for your move. Get the overtake over and done with. Of course, make sure you leave the GT4 the space that they need.
Just a few more laps. Fall behind the car in front in sector 3.
And there were certainly plenty of quite a few opportunities there for the Porsche. They just didn't take, they waited, they cost themselves time. Costed me time with the half-hearted move. But yes, we are now into the one-stop pit window. Of course, the 65-minute stint time means that you can't drive for more than 65 minutes consecutively or without going through pit lane. Excluding penalties. So now there is less than 65 minutes in the race. You can pit now and get to the end without pitting again. And this window lasts until, of course, 65 minutes into the race. I nearly cut that corner there. Turned into sin cutting corner. Don't want an unnecessary track limit. You don't need to change drivers for the stint time to reset. You just need to drive through pit lane without serving a penalty. Now we still have 6 litres of fuel left, so we're going to go around for another few laps. Yes, it is SRO rules. ACC does let you change it. So the organisers, the community that is organising this, can change the server settings to allow it to be 70, 75 minutes, however long they want. But in this case, they've kept it at 65 minutes. It's probably so that those 2 driver teams split their driving time up equally, rather than having one driver do 90 minutes and the other only doing 30 minutes. Oh yes, my right arm is getting a little bit tired and sore. But we're gonna carry on, of course. We're not here to quit. I've done 1 hour of driving plenty of times. I've done 3 hours of driving plenty of times as well, so, and 4 hours on a few occasions as well. As we see a few more cars in pit lane.
Car on the left. Me on the left.
4 litres of fuel remaining. Wrist. I've never had trouble with my wrists.
Lost the car coming behind. Watch out.
I suppose running a direct drive with more torque
Car on the right.
does make it a little more challenging on the arms for me than it would be for you, Geeky. We're going to pit now just to be safe on fuel. I still have 2 litres left, which should have done a lap, but we'll pit just to be safe. We can take a couple of litres out for being safe on fuel. That should be about perfect. Yes, perfect. Straight up. We have 30 seconds. Time to take a drink. Also a reminder for you to stay hydrated at home watching. Turn the ignition back on, wait for the countdown. Drop. I turned the ignition off accidentally, so it cost us a bit of time there, getting the car started again. Clear pit lane as we come back onto track, but the main thing to note is the stone cold tyres once again. In the bottom right hand corner you can see there's cold blue, so we'll have to work some temperature into them, just like we did in qualifying and on the formation lap. Over a couple of laps. Thankfully we have quite a bit of clear track to do this with, which is just quite nice. Don't have to push. Don't have to worry about GT3s overtaking us and us having to go offline. To accommodate that with our reduced grip on these cold tyres. Someone's been off through the gravel. We are behind a couple of GT4 cars that have yet to stop. You can see the KTM still has the orange 1 next to their name. That indicates they have 1 mandatory stop still to complete. And even just that run through pit lane, 30 seconds stopped in the box. Has actually helped the arm for now. Let's pass this GT3 coming out of pit lane. No, Kiki, it doesn't. Sorry, Zav, it doesn't. It says. Track limits stay with you until you get the drive-through for your fourth warning. In the game, I believe, has always had it like this, Zav, where it only resets on the penalty. In real life, they do have occasions where the penalties do reset, such as the Spa 24 hours, in which the penalties reset every 6 hours. Yes, they stick with the car, so even if you swap drivers, if one driver gets 2 track limits, you know, if I hand it over to a teammate right now, that teammate would have 2 warnings as well. And they would still get the drive-through for if they got the 3rd and 4th warnings. So it is per car, not per driver. And thank you very much for the nice comments in chat. Glad to know you're enjoying the show and the commentary. I'm glad you are learning. Always appreciate people willing to learn. Welcome back, Artie. You join us just over halfway through our race. 55 minutes to go. We are currently 2nd in class. However, the gaps around us have built up quite a bit. We'll get past this lapped Janetta here. You did your own stream. I hope it went well and that you enjoyed it. So currently we've 12 seconds, 12 and a half seconds to helping head, which has come down quite a bit. It was 20 and a half seconds when we last checked about 20 minutes ago. We'll have to wait for the gap to update to the car behind. Triple Nine seems to be quite far back, so it seems even with our little mistake with the ignition and the pit stop, we've made up quite a lot of time to our competitors through the pit sequence. Of course, the tires are all back up to pressure. Yeah, so 999 is so far back that we're not going to get a updated time interval for them. The reminder on the map, the red dot is ourselves, of course. The grey dots are the GT3s, and the blue dot, dark blue dots, are the other GT4s. Ah, you finished Bloodborne, Artie. Well done. That was 11 streams now to complete it. So you've been at it quite a while. Are you looking forward to moving on to something new? Got any ideas for what you'll move on to?
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car approaching. Watch out.
Yeah, I did spot the 999 myself a moment ago. I've lost it again. Porsche up ahead, looking to the inside of the McLaren, going for a move. It looks like there might be a little bit of contact between them.
Faster cars approaching. Clear on the right.
Fighting quite a bit up ahead.
Car on the
There
left.
is
Clear on the
Mr. Sand. That was a ambitious send. But I seen it coming. Remember their antics a little while ago, where they sent it so hard at that final corner that they drove themselves off the track. So not surprised to see them making similar sends. They kept it on the track this time in fairness, but they were very far back. I basically had to give up the place to them.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful. Slow car ahead.
So I think the 999 is about 40 seconds behind us. Yes, as Geeky said, the 999 had just crossed the line. We were about 40 seconds into our lap. So that is how far back they are. So they are effectively on the other side of the circuit from us now.
Here's a slow car ahead.
Thankfully we've managed to keep the pressure loss on the left hand side tyres to a minimum so far. GT3 not feeling confident to go round the outside, which, yeah, better safe than sorry. At least unlike the Porsche a little earlier on, they've actually gone for a move and made it stick nice and cleanly.
Faster cars approaching. Watch out.
The pressure loss is caused by curbs, so running the tyres off the edges of the curbs onto the grass is generally the cause for the pressure loss.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
No, it's
Car in front in sector two.
not proper puncture.
There's a car leaving the pit lane. Watch out. Faster cars approaching.
I can't speak if it's what it's like, you know, compared to real life. If pressure loss is something that they're as concerned about in real life, if it's a similar
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
we just have to trust ACC.
Faster car coming up behind you.
A small detail about this race I haven't mentioned so far is that the weather is it's fixed weather, so we're guaranteed clear sunny skies for the entire race, which,
Car on the left.
given the multi-class element, I'm not too annoyed about. You know, it's been carnage enough at some points, as is, never mind if we did have some rain.
Faster car approaching. Watch out. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
That was another aggressive send.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
You know, luckily we've been able to see these sends coming, and we've avoided getting pile drived into our door.
Faster cars approaching. Watch out.
As we've actually caught up quite a lot to the lead Alpine. They're just 4 seconds in front of us. That's them there. They're the next car up ahead.
Car on the left.
Until this BMW puts another lap on us. 36.9 from the Alpine, so it's not like it's running really slow lap times. It's obviously a bit harder to gauge lap times as you're constantly being
Faster car coming behind you.
interrupted by the GT3 traffic, which can slow you down, especially when they make moves into corners like the chicane, as we had a couple of laps ago, where you just have to really back off, lose a lot of momentum and thus time, compared to moves like these where GT3 just carries speed,
Car on the right.
flies past you, and you barely lose any time at all. As you can see, we're on for a 35 so far this lap. A little bit of a messy chicane. Enjoy your lurks, Caroline, or Caroline, however you like your name pronounced. Hope you enjoy the rest of the stream, and thank you for the good looks. 36.0 there from the car ahead, so they're still running competitive lap times. They must have just had a bit of an instant with the GT3. Second, I'll be honest, I forgot which order I did the pronunciations. I'm sure I will figure it out in due course. But yes, as I said, thank you for sticking around, and hope you enjoyed the rest of the stream in your lurks. Caroline. Radio. If I did sound wrong that time.
Gaining on the car ahead in sector 2. Faster car behind you. Yellow flag in sector 3.
Had a crash for the 182 after the chicane.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Faster car behind you.
Race has calmed down now that the GT3s have spread out. Well, yes, we're not really getting any rest periods. We're not having packs of 5 GT3s all trying to overtake at once, which is just making things a little less chaotic. Or I should say quite a lot less chaotic than it was at times.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
A little bit wider. As we have 40 minutes remaining in the race. Alpine has just opened that gap to 5 seconds again now. Where it was coming down to about 4.5. Crash for the 444 at the first corner. The Alpine running a 35 that lap. They still have good pace when they're not having any issues.
Faster car coming in behind you. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Yellow flag in sector 3.
Crash coming out of the final corner for
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
41. Looks like a purple McLaren
Car on the right.
or the purple
Slow car ahead.
444 Lamborghini going slow up ahead. very generously letting us past on the inside there.
Gaining on the car heading sector 2.
Getting a little close for comfort there, Mark. Little close for comfort. A lot of grass there.
Final warning for exceeding checkpoints.
That, I didn't think I'd ran too wide there, but apparently we did. Just got to be a little bit cautious
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
as that 444 Lamborghini's find the wall once more.
The faster car is approaching.
Back to under 5 seconds for the gap up ahead. The 999 Mark has, or Aston has instead disappeared from the leaderboard.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
That was not ideal. Certainly heated up the tires a bit. Porsche, I think that's a Porsche from earlier that was looking to pass us, didn't know where to pass us, just couldn't make their mind up,
Yellow
and
flag
then went
is
for the very clumsy half-hearted move eventually.
car coming up ahead. Watch out.
I think that was them once again. They didn't seem very confident in wanting to go for the move. They kind of lost the rear end going around the outside and then just managed to tag us as we were sort of repassing them in their spin. Luckily it didn't have much of an effect on us.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
And they've finally made a move. Yeah, that's a 79
Faster car coming up behind you.
as
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Lambo up ahead had an issue and then quickly RTG'd,
Clear on the right.
trying to save themselves from embarrassment.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Once again, another half-hearted move from a GT3. That issue really started from previous corner where they just went a bit deep, ruined their exit, meant they didn't have the momentum that GT3 normally would to make a clean overtake. As the 444 is causing more issues, it seems, just after the old hairpin on the other side of the track. course, that has cost us a bit of time to the lead GT4, but honestly, I'm not too worried about that. If we were gonna win this race, it'd be from the leader having an issue, which isn't exactly the way we want to win it. We don't really win the race because of an issue from the fastest car, such as them being taken out, etc.
Faster cars approaching. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I just want to see, next GT3 behind us is now car 10, which I can see just coming to the end of, just going through the old hairpin now. So there's a 444 doing
Faster cars
something. I think they took out the boards coming up to the chicane as well, which is not appreciated. So it looks like we're going to find a new brake marker. Gap to the lead, now 8 seconds after that half spin. I'll try and get a gap to the number 10 car. Have to manually calculate it from our current lap time and when they cross the start finish line to start the lap.
Yellow flag is on. Watch out.
As a Ferrari has spinned it, it's making a dodgy rejoin. But the gap to the number 10 behind is 45 seconds, which in the circumstance we do get a drive-through penalty.
Faster car coming up behind you.
Should be enough of a gap for us to keep P2. So don't have to worry too much about the drive-through penalty if it does come.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Faster car coming up behind you.
Really, the bigger threat is always the GT3, so you can lose a lot more time for being taken out. It's the time you lose in the crash, and then the damage, whether it's the constant lap time you lose or the time through pit lane to repair the damage.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Faster cars
You can lose a lot of time in a crash. Easily lose a couple of laps.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Faster car approaching. Watch out.
I don't know how the Ferrari lost it there. I'm hoping glad that Audi didn't go for a move. I'll guess here nice and easily. It should do.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
So there's they go. Nicely done. Running a little bit wide there. 999 drive through for track limits. Not sure how far down the order. They've fallen to P7 in class, and they might lose another position or two, but things certainly have gone downhill from when they were in P3 earlier.
Faster car coming up behind. Watch out. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
That was stupid. Easily could have taken me out there from the Ferrari. Obviously they're trying to catch the McLaren, not lose extra time stuck behind the GT4, is their thinking.
Falling behind to the car in front in sector 3.
Well, a very risky and dangerous move from them there. Something that could easily have ended up in tears if we didn't have that great awareness, if I do say so myself.
Faster cars approaching. Light damage in the rear.
Now that was a very careless move.
Faster cars approaching.
Luckily I seen it coming, just the closing speed in the radar. Straightened up the steering wheel to minimise any risk of being spun out, but you can see 5 seconds of damage there.
Watch out.
5.2 to be precise.
Car on the right.
But remember that the 85
Faster cars approaching.
I know how I will remember that. If I press this button here, I'll save a replay. May make a post-race report for that.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Yellow flag in sector 2.
444 having more issues again.
Slow car ahead.
We have a GT3
Car ahead in sector 1.
in the pits that will pass for position. Of course doesn't mean anything in class, but is an overall place. Puts us in 25th overall. Not that we're concerned, to be honest. It's not like the Cup cars on Sunday or the Challenge cars on Tuesday that were sort of close enough that if you were quick in them you could fight some of the slower GT3 drivers. With these there's just too much of a difference.
Faster car coming up behind you.
The classes are completely separate. So there's nothing really to say for overall like there was on those two previous races I mentioned.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Very, very deep in chicane there, just trying to make sure the move worked. Which, you know, in fairness, we do complain about the half-hearted moves, how annoying and frustrating they can be. You know, so fair enough to them to making sure that they were committed to making that move work. Have another GT3 exiting the pits. These, of course, will be second pit stops, or third, maybe even more pit stops for some of the cars here that have been having quite a few incidents. As I make a right mess of that chicane. Looks like they were nearly trying 4 wide there in front of us.
Faster cars approaching.
As we're coming up on a couple of GT4s. Fighting for 35th and 36th overall.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Which will be 8th and 9th in class.
Faster cars approaching. Watch out.
Bit deep into the chicane there.
Car on the right. Clear on the
Good
right.
patience
Car on the right. Faster cars approaching. Clear on the
from
right.
the McLaren.
Car on the left.
Fry being just careful enough to not take anyone out with that move,
Clear on the left.
which would be very easily done.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Got quite a few cars around us.
Behind you.
We're lapping a GT4 as a GT3 comes to lap all of us. Porsche and very close to our bumper there going into T1. If they're clever, they'll wait for me to potentially make an opportunity while I pass the Ginetta here. They've fallen a little bit behind.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Faster cars approaching.
We'll send it down the inside of the Ginetta, and the leading GT3 will follow us through before
Clear on the right.
doing the same to us just a corner later.
Faster cars approaching.
We'll hold our line on the left hand side. Leader being chased down for the lead. You could tell the Porsche had intention there. Flash of the lights to so they can make sure we know they're there. Which, you know, is fair enough. That looks like it could be a good build for the lead into the final 17 minutes of the race we have remaining. A couple of drive-through penalties have popped up. I think it was car 13 got one not too long ago. Yes. Which is a GT3 car behind us. And 221, which is currently 4th in GT4. I'll see how many positions that loses them for the 221. But yeah, currently 4th in GT4. See where they come out after they serve that drive-through. The number 85 has somehow had an issue on the straight, heading towards the chicane. seem to still have about 45-second gap, sorry, to the car behind, the number 10. That's 3 cars just having issues seemingly by themselves. 2 on the back straight towards the chicane, 1 at T1. 221 serving their drive-through, so we'll see shortly how many positions they have dropped, if they have dropped any, of course. As the GT3 in 3rd place. A little bit of a late move, but we're all nice and peaceful in this race. They were just close enough to make it work. So 221 looks to still be in 4th place, luckily for them.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Meanwhile, we've now fallen about 13 seconds off of the lead GT4. Maybe about 12 seconds. Relative flips around a bit in this last sector of Donnington with the chicanes. Number 13 has crashed out of the old hairpin. But 12.8 seconds separates us to the leader in GT4 now, with just 13.5 minutes to go. Here we have the bright yellow McLaren, infamous for its aggressive dive bombs at the final corner. Well, I can't just say excessive, for one of them at least. They get past nice and cleanly this time. There is the 999 having led the class in the early stages of the race. Now sits in P7 in class. The 41 has returned to pit lane. That was sitting 8th in class. Yes, the 999. The race has gone from what seemed like could be a very good race to unfortunately quite a poor race. As we come up to the back for the 999.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
This time, they're letting us through, unfortunately. Okay.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
If you really want to go for the outside, I can
Faster car behind you.
let you have it.
Falling behind the car in front is 73.
Number 13 has made their way into the pits. As we approach on the final 10 minutes of this race. It was certainly a very eventful, very chaotic first start to the race. The second hour has had a little more contact for us, but it's thankfully been very minor. And the chaos has subsided.
Faster car coming in behind you.
Let's not speak too soon, anything can still happen in these final 10 minutes. Battle for the lead. GT3, the number 1, is still leading, as denoted by the triangle on the mini-map. I can't remember what the number was for the Porsche that was trying to catch them. I think it might have been the 76. They've dropped back from when they lapped us about 8 minutes ago now.
Faster car coming in behind you.
I did not see the fry there.
On the right. Clear on the right.
Behind me was just out of sight on the rear view screen
Faster car
and just a
coming
little
behind
too
you.
far back to be in the radar. I'd just seen it starting to appear, which made me question where it was. Looks like we might have a battle for position over 19th coming up on us soon,
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
which we'll just have to be careful of.
Faster
You know,
car.
these drivers in these close battles sometimes just a little more impatient than normal, but looks like this Porsche has quite a bit more patience.
Car on the right.
And they'll get by here. The Audi
Clear on the right. Faster car is approaching.
will get through, but not that Audi. That Audi's just a little, just being patient themselves,
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
which I greatly respect. We did have a car go off into the barriers on the exit of the old hairpin. I missed what car it was while we were being lapped.
Faster car coming up behind. Watch out.
I do also want to take a moment to say sorry if there's been any dropped frames. I've noticed a bit of a spike on my second monitor, so apologies if you've had any. Frank kind of looked like it was contemplating a move, so I just left him the space just in case. Better safe than sorry. But they were being patient. Again, a bit of understeer through the old hairpin there. Look at just how quickly the Aston behind us closes up. Not close enough to go for a move, but they had a look, which is just going to make this move slightly harder. They could have been alongside, by alongside I mean ahead going into the braking zone for that right-hander, had they just been a little more patient. '79's got themselves a drive-through. Track limits at the chicane. It's going to cost them 18th place. Somehow someone has knocked down the board there going into the hairpin. McLaren had a little wobble. Nearly drove into the back of them. Triple Fuller having another crash on the exit of the old hairpin. We've just over 4 minutes left in the race. Leader is about 10 seconds back on us, so we should get a nice clear lap. They're the next car, well, apart from 79, who's just re-emerging back onto the track from serving their drive-through. But we should get a clear lap here, which will be nice, and will be passed by the leader in the next couple of laps, which is also nice. Will mean we'll have one less lap to do. We have a further 3 laps of fuel, but we should only have 2 more laps. Not unless we somehow stay in front of the leader, but I don't think that will be the case. Leader now only 4 seconds behind us. So you can see how quickly they close in on us.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
63 GT4's going slow. They've been an instant with this 61. That looks like a bit of GT4 on GT4 violence. Leader getting a little wiggle out of turn 1 there on the curb. It really does feel like the Aston comes by a little bit quicker than everyone else. Ran a little bit wide there, but we took an extra lift just to try and make sure we didn't get a late drive-through. The track warning. 999 has had another incident. This race has started out so well for them, isn't getting any better, even in the dying stages of it. 997 has had a crash and has got drive-through for ignoring stint time. They've gone over that 65. It's been over 65 minutes since the last went through pit lane. So they'll have to serve a drive-through penalty for that, though it is technically a little too late for it. Well, they can serve it at the end of the lap they're currently on. They'll get out of the pit lane probably just before the leader finishes, and then be able to finish what will be their final lap. Bit wide there from Porsche. From 79 Porsche going for a bit of lawn mowing. As the leader comes into our relative. Still 12.5 seconds ahead, as they were about 10 minutes ago. 997 opting not to serve their drive-through penalty. So it'll turn into a post-race time penalty of 30 seconds, which is, I believe, harsher than a normal drive-through is here at Donnington. Bit of a short pit lane here at Donnington. And with the final corner being that slow hairpin, of course don't carry that much speed onto the start-finish straight, which means it's a smaller delta than you would find at other tracks between the pit lane and normal track. Leader crosses the line. The number 1 winning the race. We will come through to take P2.
Excellent job there. P2, well managed. Bring it back home safely.
12.5 seconds behind the leading GT4 Alpine. I'm pretty happy with P2. Yeah, qualifying P5, that's a good 3-place improvement. That's pretty good going. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Clean race. This is not the race I expected to be a clean race of this week. But yeah, great to have a clean race. Yeah, thank you, Zav. That was good. That was fun. In the end, we finished 40.5 seconds ahead of a GT3 for next place. Let's see, the 221 still to finish. And the number 10 looks like it's dropped back, or maybe that's just ACC needing to update.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah, so they finished, what is that? 1 minute 17.2 seconds back. Yeah, we had a big margin there at the end. So yeah, thank you for the GGs in chat. Oh, and session quickly resetting there before we can finish our lap. But yeah, that's a good race. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Glad to hear that you lot also enjoyed that. 2.5 hours of streaming now. Yeah, race tamed down quite a bit at the end, so not much to say that hasn't already been said. As usual, for streams, we will end with a bit of Art of Rally. So yes, if you don't usually watch streams, Art of Rally is of course a rally game, little arcade rally game. It has daily events, what I call a daily stage. It is just one stage, changes every day. You get one attempt at it, and that attempt makes the leaderboard. Apologies for the darkness on screen. Monitor is the only thing lighting me up, and as I go through menus, screen's going a bit dark, causing the darkness. But yes, we will do the Art of Rally daily stage, and for that when I switch scenes back over, which yes, we will do now. We'll remove the ACC overlay, bring up the controller overlay, as this is played with controller. I'll also close a couple of apps. And just try and close something to try and not cause any dropped frames for this, just for this final bit of the stream. So yes, before we check up on the daily event, we'll have a look at the weekly event. We did this on Monday's stream. So if you want to see me do this weekly, go watch the end of Monday's stream. That was the Acel Corsa Estonia's at Ottawa South. Yes, currently we're seeing 48th, top 15% for that. There's still 3 days and a bit to go. We'll have a look at the daily events. So the daily event we did on Tuesday, that was the ACC Friday Challenge at Monza. Finished 16th. Very good going. Top 5%. That's good going. I also did yesterday's stage. I had a bit of a spin at it. Not as well. Breaking the top 5% streak we had going. So 93rd, top 35%. Not too great, but hopefully we can get back into the top 5. We've got a 7.1 mile stage here. Group 4 at Japan. Gravel stage. Welcome, Tie-Dye. Sorry to say we've finished up the ACC racing for tonight. Not long, only by about 5 minutes. Race finished. I'll not spoil it in case you want to watch back through it. But good to have you nonetheless. We're just about to do the Art of Rally daily stage. Just to round off the stream, we've got a 7.1 mile dirt stage in Japan in front of us. We're using a Group 4 car. So let's see how well this will go. Careful over the crest into the open hairpin. Right easy corner to overshoot. Been a clean stage so far, but still got a last stage to go. Over the jump. As we approach about halfway through the stage. Over big jump. A little bit wide there. Hopefully it doesn't cost us too much time. But when we're inevitably 2/10 off the next lap time, or stage time, that's the moment. sliding up nicely into that junction. Getting a slide out of that hairpin. Being able to control it. Nearly out into the barrier there. As we're coming up to the end stage, you can see the finish in the distance. Nearly losing it over that crest. But we'll finish in 25th. Top 10%, which is still pretty decent. We'll maybe come to check on that. Well, unfortunately, there isn't. That is going to be the last stream of the week. It's been 4 streams this week, quite a few for me than normal, but good to end it on a very positive note after this race. Yes, the cherry blossoms are very nice. Yes, I do. No matter what game they're in, Minecraft, Art of Rally, they're always very nice to look at. So yes, with that we'll be wrapping up today's stream. Been going for 2 hours 40 minutes now. Thank you all for tuning in. Geeky, Artie, Zav, Caroline, Tie-Dye at the end. Sorry you missed pretty much all of the stream, but good to see you nonetheless, and hope you've been keeping well since the last streams. But yes, I shall bid you all a hopefully wonderful holidays for the next week. I hope you all get some nice treats, have some nice time with family if you still do, or some nice free time to yourself. Whatever you have in store for you this holiday season, I hope you're able to enjoy it. Thank you all very much for watching the stream, and I'll see you, maybe there'll be another stream for the end of the year, maybe I'll be seeing you in the new year. But yes, thank you all for watching as always, and I shall see you in the next stream. Bye bye everyone.